Hey everybody, I'm going to go over your assignment to outline chapters 2, 3, and 4 in your textbook. I'm going to do this quickly and not thoroughly, but I just want to give you some insight in how you would tackle this now that you know all about note-taking. Okay, so I'm going to switch my camera to my document cam. All right, so here's my book. And you can see that I have my post-it notes here so I can find my page numbers very easily. That is the first thing that you were supposed to do, was to post-it note your pages. So I'm just going to go to my very first page, which was page 55. This is main ideas, right? And here's how I'm going to think about this. All of these chapters have to do with main idea, right? And so how I'm going to start is I'm going to start with those questions that I'm supposed to ask myself when I'm trying to write a thesis statement. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, what were these chapters about? And that would be my topic, right? So my topic is main idea. All three of these chapters talk about main idea, right? All of them. They're all centered on main idea, either implied main idea, stated main idea, or how details support the main idea. So main idea is my topic. Now I need a controlling idea, right? What would John Langan say would be the most important thing that I need to learn in these 3 chapters? Well, like I just said, and I'm going to just write down my thinking here. I think, well, chapter 2 was about defining, and I'm just going to write the MI for main idea, okay? It's defining main idea and how to find it. Right? And then chapter 3 was about details and how they support main idea. And chapter 4 was about implied main idea and how to figure it out. So I have figured out in both. Something that might be the controlling idea is how to figure out the main idea, how to understand the main idea in a text, right? So, all right. So you can see in my thinking here, right? It doesn't just pop out at me. This is a little bit difficult. 3 chapters to try and figure out one thesis statement for all 3 chapters. It's hard. I was kind of throwing you under the bus there a little bit, right? So if these are my, okay, I'm going to try and put that into a sentence now. I'm going to try and put in a main idea as my topic, which is off the page here, but it's up here, and then how to figure it out. So I'm going to say, and I have to put it into a complete sentence. So I'm going to start with there are many ways. I don't know if I like ways, but there are many ways to figure out what the main idea is of a given text. There are many ways to figure out what the main idea is of a given text. Yeah, that sounds like that covers it, right? If you're note taking, you still have to figure out what the main idea is. That's part of the note taking. Yeah, and how to organize it, all that. Okay, so now my next thing was be sure and give credit to the author, right? And I also needed to see if this was stated anywhere. So I'm just going to look a little bit in chapter 2 here. It says, what's the point? You've probably heard these words before. A question people ask when they want to know the main idea that someone is trying to express. The same question can guide you as you read. Recognizing the main idea or point is the most important key to good comprehension. That might be the thesis. It's very similar. I mean, mine is more about figuring it out, but this might be better. The main idea or point is the most important key to good comprehension. It's about understanding the text. I like that better. In fact, I think that is more comprehensive because that's why you're figuring it out, right? All right, so that's what I'm going to, I think that's what I'm going to use as my thesis statement. I think that is the right thesis statement. So now I have to give it credit, right? So I'm going to say in the text book, I have to just, it's so long, I always have to check 10 steps to advancing. 10 steps to advancing college, is it college reading skills? Yep. College reading skills. John Langan states, states that, and now I have to quote it because I'm taking it out of the text, so it has to have a quotation mark. That quote recognizing the main idea or point is the most important key to good comprehension. All right, so here's my thesis right here, right? So I'm just gonna, hold on. So I took a page to just try and figure out the thesis statement. I did a lot of thinking about it. And I also have a little bit of a list about what each chapter is about. And now I have a great thesis, right? And oops, I had to quote this, right? Quote. And then I have to put the page number, page 55. Okay? So I have a good thesis, and then I have to figure out my major support and minor support. So I'm going to start my outline here, and I'm only going to do an outline in this video because I'm just showing you preliminary thinking. It would take me a lot longer than you want to watch if I was going to do this well, okay? All right, so now I'm doing my outline, and I always have to label my outline, and of course I would be typing this for my own, I would be typing this up if I was going to hand this in, but I'm not typing it because I am just going to quickly do this in front of you. All right, so I am going to start with Roman numeral 1, because that's how we start our outline. There's my Roman numeral 1, and notice it's not indented at all. It's just right in the margin. And I'm going to put, I'm going to just write it all out again in the textbook. 10 steps to advancing college reading skills. John Langan states that, quote, I got a comma there, recognizing the main idea or point is the most important key to good comprehension. Page 55. Okay. And I should underline this because it's a book. Okay. All right, so there, I have my thesis done. So now I know I'm going to have some major support. So I'm going to just start with the A. Okay, and I'm indenting a little bit. I'm on the other side of the line. Okay, so I'm indenting one time, and I'm going to figure out what my major support is. And really, my major support is easy because there are 3 major supports. And those 3 major supports coincide with the chapters, right? Though the textbook is organizing our thinking already. So it is just going to be those chapters. That is what is going to be my major support. So my first major support is main idea. Okay, and I'm just going to skip, I'm going to give myself about 6, 5 in between each, and I'm going to do B here. And my next chapter is called supporting details, so I'm going to use that. And then 3, 4, 5. My last one Oh dear. Is called Implied Main Ideas. Right? So there are my major supports. Then I would go back to my chapter 2 and I would say some like really important things that the author told me. And maybe one of those things is, and I'm indenting twice now. So here's my number 1, is that the main idea, or I'm just going to put it because, right, it's supporting it. It is, or it covers, you know, like an umbrella, all other material in the chapter, in the text, I should say, right? And there are 3 strategies that help you figure out what it is. And if you wanted to list those 3 strategies, you could. You already have the A and the B and the C, and you have the 1 and the 2, but you could indent 3 times and then have lowercase letters like this, right? And then you could, you know, look for general versus specific ideas, etc. Okay, there are more than that, but this is how you would start with your outline. And I just put these in because I just want it to be on one page, and you can not see what I'm doing, but there we go. So main ideas are first major support. If it covers like the umbrella, all the other material in the text. And then there are 3 strategies. There's more, right? There's more. But I'm going to just stop there because I ran out of room. And if you want to add even a more minor part, you absolutely can. You just keep indenting. So this is indented once, this is indented twice, this one is indented 3 times. Right? And there were 3 different ways. There were 3 different strategies, right? And I only put 1 because I ran out of room. Okay? All right, so that is sort of how you get started. And then if I went to my my next, I just need to make sure I'm in the right spot here. Supporting details, yep. All right, so here's my next supporting details, and I'm just kind of looking around. I'm doing a chapter review cheat right now. I might have more because if I read the chapters right now, I would probably have way more, but I'm just doing this quickly. So I'm gonna do this. Number 1, major and minor details provide information to make sense of the main idea, right? And then there were different note-taking strategies. Help to organize. Main ideas and supporting details. And again, I could put, I could, indent once, indent twice, and then I could indent again, and I'm going to make sure my A's are all lined up. And I could do outlining and then mapping, right, and summarizing, because those are what is in chapter 2. And then we have more. There's way more than that, right? But then I'm going to go to implied main idea. And then this is texts that don't have a stated thesis. Make it necessary to figure it out using details, right? All right. So that is just in a nutshell. It's not complete. It's not good. I did a lot of cheating on this that I hope that you didn't do, but I wanted to just show you some of the thinking that went beyond this. And really what I really wanted to show you was the structure that you should have figured out, that it was the chapters were your major supports. And I think that if you figured out that the chapters were each your major support, then this part was pretty easy to figure out, right? That all fits into the chapter. But if you couldn't figure out that the chapters were the major support, then you were probably sunk. So I just wanted to show you that. And I also wanted to show you my thinking about how to figure out the thesis statement. I think this part was the most important part. And even though I switched it to be the one that was stated in the text, does not negate the one that I did. There are many ways to figure out what the main idea is of a given text. That would work too. I just think the one in the book is more complete and better. But my thinking happened first. I didn't just search for a magic sentence. I did the thinking first, and I want you to do that process as well. So that is all I have for you for today on this. I know that this was a difficult assignment. It was daunting not only because you're just learning how to do an outline and a summary, but it was also daunting because it was 3 chapters in one. And just the idea of having 3 chapters in one makes it a little bit scary. So those of you who tackled this project and embraced the struggle, good for you. And I hope that this was instructive and helped you figure out any confusions that you had when you did it. Okay, so there you go. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next presentation.